This is Live for Love TV. Live for Love TV. Yes, I am.
One step more. One step more. One step more. Until you reach your goals. One step more. Save them soul. One step more. One step more. How good it is to reach the
Live for Love TV. This is Live for Love TV. Live for Love TV.
Welcome back, Live for Love TV, 20th day, 9th month, 21st year, the 21st century. Back under the yaki tree with the birds today, so they're making a lot of noise, giving me some backdrop, a nice background sound. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well out there. New day, new order, as they always say. So, today I was watching some videos over the last few years, and I know a lot of people in the reggae music business. We know we move amongst the business and we move amongst the people. And I was looking at some video the other day and I was thinking of all the years I've been watching different artists from different genres of music. It seems that reggae artists over the years, from back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, right up to the 2000s and on, whenever they come on and they tell their life story, it's always a case of they were ripped off by other producers, other people in the business, other people who were to pay their wages or to pay their money for studio time or whatever. And of course that happens in soul. It's happened over the years in with Detroit. People argue about this, and Motown, and it's happened in other music, rock music and genres, but there's the consistency of almost every artist, especially the artists that we know that are big artists that come on there and tell their story about making hit records, not even getting money, bus fare. I mean, the reason I bring it up, it's amazing when you hear it, and it's really a problem that people have to admit that certain people have with money and releasing money. And the reason I bring it up is because I've lived and done business in many countries. I don't have to mention the countries right now, but I've done business in many countries. And I have to be honest, a lot of the people that look just like me, when you're doing business with them, money always becomes a problem. They either don't pay on time, there's an issue with the money, arguments. Obviously, sometimes contracts are signed, sometimes they ain't. And I'm sure other people from other cultures have money issues, but I've worked and done business with people from other cultures, and if they're telling me that they're paying me on the 14th of a month, I get my money on the 14th of the month. And if I confront them about the 14th that my money hasn't got to my account, I always get the same issue. It immediately gets sorted out, or somebody says, come pick it up from a petty cash. But that doesn't seem to happen with us as a culture. It's a massive problem. I did a video about money and how we behave with money, and how a lot of people behave with money and how they hold on to it, and and how they like to say, people in our culture like to say that when you're paying out money, it's too expensive, but when they're getting it in, it's never enough. So when they're doing a business, they don't get enough. They're doing a painting and decorating, nobody don't want to pay them the right money. But when they're paying out the money, it's the man a thief them. This is something that we're going to have to confront, because no matter what we talk about with other people in other cultures and other countries, our relationship with money is more than disappointing. It's disgraceful. You can't have some of the greatest artists, especially in reggae music, for instance, coming on videos week in, week out, year in, year out, and literally saying all the producers they work for rip them off. From Bob Marley all the way down. This was always the argument. And when you hear the producer's side, him are this, the artist, the producer are that. Nothing good to be said about one another. And maybe this is a culture that we're passing on to our next generations. So when you see the generations now that are coming up and doing the scamming, well, it depends what you call scamming, because I know a lot of artists believe they've been scammed. by the bigger boys, the big man who had the money. Scamming is taking on a different feel, almost like it's a new thing that's come on the scene. And people are just trying to rip off people. People have been getting ripped off from one thing to another, and I find it pretty bad, pretty distressing, because, as I said, it would be lovely to be able to say that, boy, everywhere I've gone, I've seen every culture do this to me. When I've tried to do business with them, I've seen them try something on with me, take my money. I have to go around there and bad them up to get my money. It doesn't happen. It may happen to someone else, but it's never happened to me. If I go to somebody, it never happens to me. I'm always generally get my money, or they correct the situation. But I've been seeing this from I was a youth, from I was a very young man. I've been seeing this in our culture. People don't like to talk about it because they prefer to say that everybody else is doing us wrong. But we're doing ourselves wrong. If you agree to pay someone for a job and he does the job, you should not be trying to beat him down for his money. And you should pay him when you say you're going to pay him. I don't see what's so hard about doing that. I don't know. I struggle to understand this kind of behavior. It's something that I see all the time, and I'm around it, but I don't do it. So I struggle to understand it. The only thing I can think is people just don't want to release their money to people who look like them. But when they go to Chinese shop, and when they go Indian shop and Lebanese shop, and it don't matter where in the world they go, they don't argue about money. Whatever the man charges them, they take it. Whatever the people charge them, they take it with no argument. And if they go outside and sussle with themselves, that's different. But whenever they're doing business with one another, the argument is there. Him a thief, him a criminal, him a crook, him charge too much. And it's always someone that looks just like them. And this is something that, as I say, we're handing on. We're continually handing on to generation, and we're having big problems. You see people who are making big money together on the street. People you may know, making big money. And due to a slight financial discrepancy, all hell breaks loose. Shots fired, people gone missing. I mean, these are big money people. These are not people who are just making 5 or 10. They're making big money, but yet they're prepared to ruin because someone has shorted someone somewhere, and they're prepared to destroy the whole business, the whole system, and bring down the whole system down on their heads. And this is why I say it's a problem that it has to be spoken about and has to be dealt with. I'm very skeptical when people always saying we should spend our money in our own community. That's all well and good if people are doing what they say they're going to do. If you go and buy something from somebody and the thing doesn't work, and you bring it back and the person's giving, well, you have to come back next week, when we make some money, we can pay you. What kind of behavior is that? What kind of behavior is that? I've seen that so many times. You try to buy something from certain people and they haven't got the money to give you back until somebody gives them the money back. What kind of behavior is this? And then when you don't want to spend money with them, people are saying you don't spend money with your own. Well, I'd advise no one to spend money with anybody that looks like me, their own culture, if that person cannot reimburse them when they bring back that thing within that certain time and they've done no damage to it. Don't spend money with people like that. Do not spend money with people like that. And don't let anyone tell you because of your culture you should spend money with them. If a man doesn't look like you and you come back and you say this happened to a thing, you took it home and he gives you back your money that day or exchanges it for a brand new one, that's the person you should deal with. That's your money. Don't get fooled into it by people who are trying to talk that big talk about, spend money with your own. If our own are going to behave properly and going to do like other people do, have their money, certain periods of money back guarantees, stuff like that, then no problem. But when they're not prepared to do that, then I would say to yourself, keep your money in your pocket or spend your money where you know you have some backup, you have some form of insurance. But anyway, that's what I've got to say this morning. That's how I feel, and I see it constantly. It's a big problem. People don't want to talk about it. I don't know why they don't want to talk about it. Maybe it's because they're the ones that are doing it. But money is money. People work for their money. They deserve to get their money on a certain time. Don't give me no long story after I've cut your lawn and you've got some story about come check me later, and later your phone's off. The next day I can't get hold of you. This is what people do to one another. Constant. And it's a disgusting behavior. So take care, look after yourself, live for love.
This is Live for
Save them
Love
soul.
TV.